Hey everybody, Mr. Regan here, and today we're going to be looking at how we will be completing our population writing survey. This is going to require us to look at a set of histograms and begin writing about what's happening to the distribution of traits in that population and what's causing it to change. So focusing on this big question here. So we're going to be breaking down how to analyze the histogram and the environmental data that's going to be provided to you and how we're going to be using all of our vocab words to explain the population change. So in the next four tasks, that would be tasks 4, 5, 6, and 7. You'll notice that they all look the same, but each one's going to have a different histogram diagram that you're going to be exploring. And each one will have a histogram for our sim populations, some background information about its starting population, ending population, environment, and some general key information. And your job is going to be to use this histogram and this background information about the australopes to help answer the question, how and why did the distribution of traits change in the population from generation 1 to generation 50? All four of these tasks have the same question. All four of these tasks have the same vocab words that you need to help you answer the question. So, when you answer the question, you're looking to answer two things. Number one, how did the distribution of traits change and why did it change? So when comparing the distribution of the histogram in generation 1 to generation 50, you'll see I need you to explain and observe what's going on with the distribution, what changed, excuse me. And then the second part is going to be why did it change? Why did that distribution change? To figure that out, we're first going to look at the starting population. That would be generation 1 with the stripes in its bars. And then we're going to compare it to the ending population. That's the dark gray bar that we have here. Once we identify the distribution and how the distribution changed, you're then going to look at the starting population information, the ending population information, and the environmental change that occurred. We're trying to explain how the change in environment affected the change in distribution. So looking at this first one, for example, this is the very first histogram. We're looking at fur color. We have some blues, some yellows, and some greens here. We're missing a specific distribution in terms of number 10. There is no distribution for this variation. And when we look at the starting population, we see just that. We have a high variation with many different colored traits, yellows, greens, and blues. The ending population, on the other hand, has no variation. It all is number 7. And when we went from generation 1 to generation 50, we changed to a yellow 7 surface color, and predators were around for all 50 generations. So your job is going to be first and foremost to explain how the distribution changed, not the variation, how the distribution changed. So you're going to need to pull in these vocab words and then explain why. You need to use all 6 of these vocab words to help answer this question. So you can use 3 of them in the first part where you describe the distribution. You can use 3 in the second part where you explain why the distribution changed. You can go 2 and 4. If you can get all 6 in the first one, great. If not, you need to use all 6 in some way, shape, or form throughout the answer. So take a second, ask yourself, do you understand how to analyze the histogram and the environmental data, and how to use the vocab words to explain the population change? Place your X in your survey. If you put your X in yellow or red, reach out. And as always,